Before we get started, if you're enjoying this content, you can do us a favor by subscribing to our YouTube channel and ringing the bell. That'll let the algorithm know that you like this content and it will help us produce more.
We did a lot of marketing without really having a lot of distribution. And so again, that didn't necessarily work. Like, yes, it creates buzz, but ultimately you want to be able to drive somewhere for people to buy it.
Welcome to Honest Ecommerce, a podcast dedicated to cutting through the BS and finding actionable advice for online store owners. I'm your host, Chase Clymer, and I believe running a direct-to-consumer brand does not have to be complicated or a guessing game. On this podcast, we interview founders and experts who are putting in the work and creating real results. I also share my own insights from running our top Shopify consultancy, Electric Eye. We cut the fluff in favor of facts to help you grow your e-commerce business. Let's get on with the show. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Honest Ecommerce. I'm your host, Chase Clymer, and today we're welcoming to the show Jennifer Ross. She is the co-founder of Swoon. Welcome to the show.
Thanks so much for having me, Chase.
Absolutely. So let's dive on in. What types of products are you bringing to market over there at Swoon?
Yeah, so Swoon is a line of zero sugar lemonades and iced teas. We've really thought about reinventing the classic drinks, but just without sugar.
Absolutely. Now, I am a nerd and I know a little bit about this industry. What are you using to get the sweetness?
So we use monk fruit, which is a fruit native to Southeast Asia. Kind of looks like a hairy gourd, if you will, not the most attractive, but it's 200 times sweeter than sugar.
Yep.
And so you get a little bit of sweetness without that glycemic index.
Absolutely. Yeah, I've heard of that. And now is that also the same, is one of those byproducts like the same result of like Zevia or that type of sweetener?
No, so that's from like the stevia plant. Okay. So again, they're all like kind of sweetener alternatives, if you will, but all have like a little bit of a different taste. They come from a different plant or fruit. And then a lot of times you'll see the sweeteners mixed with an erythritol or a sugar alcohol, but those have sometimes can have digestive issues. So we don't use any of that.
Absolutely. Yeah. I was on the keto diet for a long time. And so this is very interesting path for me, but enough about that.
Swoon is keto friendly.
Yeah, let's take me back in time. Where'd the idea to start a sugar-free lemonade come from?
So I'm type 1 diabetic and I was diagnosed when I was 6. So I feel like I have spent my entire life having every zero sugar drink under the sun, like everything from Crystal Light to like Diet Snapple, Vitamin Water Zero. And then really, as I got older, really realized, it's not just me that like sugar is bad for, that I can't have sugar. 2/3 of adult Americans are pre-diabetic. And so much of that is a direct result of diet and exercise. And when I talk about diet, it's consuming excess sugar. And sugary drinks are actually the number one source of that excess sugar. So our thought is like, if we could offer people a great tasting drink that didn't feel like a diet drink or something that they were compromising on, they would be doing so much service like to their own health, kind of now and in the future. So again, that really kind of was like the reason for it. I remember have vivid memories of being, in like elementary school and sneaking that pink lemonade that had like 40 grams of sugar, which is just crazy because there really weren't any other options. So again, we really wanted to create something that was like fun and celebratory, but better for you.
So take me back in time. How long did it go from kind of this idea of like, all right, I'm going to do this, I'm going to make a sugar-free product, to actually getting, a sample in your hands?
Yeah. So our path, like everyone's, was a little bit windy. We started with a different product. We started with a cocktail mixer. It was sort of like the height of like Skinny Girl and craft cocktails. And then actually from there, really working with bartenders and chefs and mixologists and actually making a zero sugar simple syrup, which simple syrup, for those that don't know, is literally sugar and water, but it is the basis of almost all cocktails. And so we spent about 2 years working on the R&D of a monk fruit based simple syrup so that it had the mouthfeel, the viscosity, and taste of a simple syrup made with sugar. And so actually in May 2020, now I can't get the dates, right before the pandemic, we were actually going to be launching a product that was specifically for food service, that was with the Swoon syrup. And obviously the world changed, and that was not going to be something that made sense for us to do given what was happening with food service. So, we kind of really went back to the drawing board and thought like, okay, what can we do? And as we thought about it, we really realized that we had been sampling all these customers on the simple syrup with a lemonade. We were doing, water, freshly squeezed lemons, and Swoon syrup. And we always got the feedback of like, can you bottle this? Can you make this? I want to buy it. And at the time we were so focused on the syrup, but that really then kind of gave us this idea. So it was really in May that we kind of said, okay, let's do this, started really the formulation on it. And then we ended up launching in August 2020. And we started direct online, and we did have some accounts. We're based in New York, so in the New York area.
Is the sugar simple syrup base kind of the basis? I mean, not only just lemonade, but most sodas are based with like a simple syrup.
So most sodas have sugar. So yes, like basically anything like not a diet soda uses sugar. And, sodas and juices can have like 40 grams of sugar, which is more than a Snickers bar. Mm-hmm. And so our thought is like, and that's more sugar than anyone should be consuming in one day. So if like we can just help people replace like one of those sugary drinks, that would be doing such a big help.
Awesome. So a real quick turnaround there to kind of getting the product in hand, because I guess you had accidentally made it already.
We'd accidentally made it. And so it'd been like thinking about it. And, again, we have an awesome designer in-house. And so like she was really able to kind of like quickly, we went through so many iterations of it, but it was like we were on our own home doing stuff over Zoom. But it was a very quick turnaround time.
Absolutely. So once you got the product out to market, obviously it was in the middle of the pandemic. How are you kind of getting the word out about this project? How are you getting kind of customers to the site and trying to walk them through the funnel?
I mean, we tried a lot of different things. So, and we've done a lot, like I said, in the beginning, it was online as well as in store, and it continues to be. But really everything from Facebook to Instagram to kind of organic PR, sending it to some influencers, which we've definitely ramped up kind of over time, but really just, and again, also tapping back into our existing customer base, because we did have our mixer customer. So it was going back out to them, retargeting them that had previously been to our site of, hey, you guys are interested in zero sugar mixers. Why don't you try this line of lemonades?
I feel like your space is so competitive. How are you guys trying to differentiate and get noticed in that space?
Yeah, I mean, I think the beverage, food and beverage, and specifically beverage space is very competitive. I think, we see ourselves as something that is different in terms of just the product. Like we're not a flavored water. There's a ton of flavored waters out there. You sort of have a ton of like functional drinks. We're really kind of somewhere in the middle of just saying like, we are zero sugar lemonades and iced teas that you used to grow up loving, but better. And so again, we're really not necessarily trying to be so much more than that, but rather just saying like, here's a drink that you used to love, but take out all the sugar.
For everybody that's listening or, on YouTube or whatnot, go check out the website. She wasn't kidding when she said it's fantastic design, very interactive. There's a lot of cool stuff going on there. And the products themselves, like I'm going to get some of these myself. I'll order them after the show. Hey there, merchant. Are you tired of trying to navigate the wild world of e-commerce on your own? Are you looking for a partner to help you achieve your goals? Look no further than the Shopify Plus agency, Electric Eye. Our team has a proven track record of helping our clients make millions with strategic design and development. Whether you're migrating from a legacy platform to Shopify, designing a new theme for your store, or just looking to optimize what you already have, Electric Eye is the perfect partner for you. Electric Eye are true Shopify experts. Not only is our Shopify knowledge unparalleled, but we have partnerships with all the best tech in the Shopify ecosystem. And don't worry, we're easy to get a hold of. Our clients rave about our fast communication. So here's the deal. If you're an e-commerce business doing over $1 million a year, you can receive a complimentary Shopify diagnostic from our team of experts. That's free, personalized, strategic recommendations to improve your store and grow your business. To get started, head on over to electriceye.io/connect to schedule an intro call with one of our experts. That's electriceye.io/connect.
Struggling to get your Merchant Center ads approved but keep running into a price mismatching error? Wondering how your competitors are showing reviews, price, delivery, and product availability directly in search results? What if there's a way to get more traffic without fighting for rankings? Well, that's where JSON-LD for SEO comes in. It's an app that gets you more organic traffic to your Shopify store, qualifying you for over a dozen search enhancements, and provides all of the structured data you need for Merchant Center. JSON-LD for SEO automatically adds the structured data needed, and it's updated regularly as the rules change by Google. It's a hands-off SEO app that you don't need to monkey around with to get working. It's the safest, easiest, and most effective way to stand out from your competitors in search results. Contact us to get your free structured data audit for your store. Find JSON-LD for SEO in the Shopify App Store to get started. That's JSONLD for SEO, or go to jsonld.app.
With kind of launching direct to consumer during the pandemic and then kind of shifting, I hear you've got some aspirations to become a national brand. How are you guys going to plan on getting there? What's kind of in the playbook? What's the strategy?
Yeah. So, we've been lucky and have been able to get a lot of distribution across the country. I think the thing with beverages, like ultimately they are bought in grocery at retail. I think what retail looks like has changed a lot over time, with kind of shop and pick up, shop online and pick up in store, or the services like GoPuff. So I think there's a lot of different things, but so many grocery products are still bought at traditional retail. And so that always is very much a focus of ours. And so we've been able to gain distribution, at Whole Foods. We just launched in Target about 2 months ago, kind of at stores across the country. We're in Meijer in Michigan, at Mother's in California. So really do have a bunch. And again, really kind of always think about how do we pair that like retail distribution with marketing? And so much of that is online marketing.
Absolutely. I didn't hear anything in Ohio, so let me know when you guys.
Oh, we do.
We're at.
We actually do. We're in Heinens.
Okay. I'll have to track that down. Awesome. Now, is there anything that I didn't ask you about today that you think is going to register with our audience?
Yeah, so I would say we're actually in an interesting time because we actually just shifted our online store to Amazon. So we originally sold on our own website, fulfilled ourselves, as well as had Amazon. Recently, we just shifted to basically have our site. We're sending everyone to our site, but have the checkout be on Amazon. And our thought process on that is, really understanding the category. Like grocery is different than other D2C different brands where people are going to individual sites and shopping. For us, again, for grocery, when you're like filling your pantry, you're going to get water, you're going to get milk, you're going to get rice, like a bunch of different things. So where are people going? And again, I think the other thing with beverages, it's super heavy to ship. So we're always looking at the economics around D2C and kind of what that looks like from end to end.
Absolutely. I think that that is one of the major frustrations that I hear from a lot of founders, and especially in the beverage space, is like, this thing costs so much to ship, and to make it right, to have customers be able to purchase it at a price point that they are comfortable with without the brand on the other side losing money on the interaction. It's the economies of scale. Take 12 packs would probably be the smallest amount that I've seen a lot of people get away with.
Exactly. And 12's hard. Again, it's a beverage. Like typically you want to try it. You want to buy one can before you purchase 12. But again, you can't really make that work when you're doing it online.
Exactly. Now with kind of over the last couple of years of growing this business, is there anything that kind of stands out to you to like maybe potentially like a mistake? It's like, what, we tried this, it didn't work, and here's what we had learned from this kind of adventure in growing the brand.
Oh man, we've had so many mistakes. So I think, but I do think, I think really kind of also important for this kind of group here is we really do try and think about sort of like pairing our marketing with distribution. And I think kind of not necessarily like in the beginning, we did a lot of marketing without really having a lot of distribution. And so again, that didn't necessarily work. Like, yes, it creates buzz, but ultimately you want to be able to drive somewhere for people to buy it. And so what we've actually found is that it really kind of not really surprising, but does great when we do have a saturation in terms of retail distribution, and that we do also sell online, obviously, in that area too. So that it's kind of that people see the brand in multiple places. They see our Facebook ads, they see our Instagram posts. If we're doing PR, we then work with local influencers to like drive them to Target. So again, it's a lot more 360, and we see like the ROI much better than when we're just marketing in places where we don't have any distribution.
Absolutely. Let me kind of parrot that back to you and make sure that I understood it correctly. And I'm trying to simplify it for the audience. So say you were launching in a new chain of grocery stores in Ohio, where I am, right?
Yeah.
You were going to pair that with PR campaigns with influencers in Ohio and geo-fence your paid advertising efforts within that same area in Ohio to really, truly try to make the best of that whole situation.
Exactly. And then we also pair that then with kind of in-store marketing efforts as well.
Like samplings and stuff like that.
Exactly.
Absolutely. And that's something that seems obvious when you just say it to me like that. But I think you're the first person to be on the show and actually say like, hey, like, put it all in one area like that. Everyone talks about omnichannel marketing and it's everywhere, but sometimes like the channels do need to talk to each other.
Right.
And back when we were a full service agency, that was definitely the edge. It was like, okay, well, if you're running all the things, it makes it way easier to do really cool stuff. And there are pros and cons to that whole thing. That's not what the discussion is about. But the number one thing is they should still be talking to each other regardless and know what's going on because you can get a lot more creative. And like you said, it led to better results.
Right.
Awesome. So we're talking about this fantastic teas and lemonades. I'm thirsty. Where do I go to buy them?
Well, you can buy them on Amazon. So if you search Swoon on Amazon, or if you go to our website, tasteswoon.com, you can buy them there. And also on our website, you can put in your address and see where your kind of local grocery store is. Like you said, you're in Ohio. So we have Heinen's and several of other grocery stores there.
Absolutely. Jen, thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Thank you so much for having me.
We can't thank our guests enough for coming on the show and sharing their knowledge and journey with us. We've got a lot to think about and potentially add into our own businesses. You can find all the links in the show notes. You can subscribe to the newsletter at honestecommerce.co to get each episode delivered right into your inbox. If you're enjoying this content, consider leaving a review on iTunes. That really helps us out. Lastly, if you're a store owner looking for an amazing partner to help you get your Shopify store to the next level, reach out to Electric Eye at electriceye.io/connect. Until next time.